Hello boys and girls, today we're going to work on our endangered species project. So we already drew our endangered species, now we're going to do the habitat for your endangered species. So look at your picture that you have, see the things that are around it. If you have an animal that lives in the desert habitat, what type of habitat would you see there? Now I picked a poison dart frog. So my poison dart frog has like a lot of leafy vegetation or plants. So I'm going to draw a bunch of this, maybe some different leaves on here. I'm just going to figure out how this is going to look in my background. Maybe I don't want those leaves quite touching. There we go. Okay, this is really sloppy, but now I have that figured out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a white piece of paper. I'm going to write my name on the back and then flip it over. You are going to use different color paper to cut apart and make for your background. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my paper first in this blue color, and I think I'm going to do it this way because if I turn it landscape way, it's not covering my whole picture. So if I turn it portrait up and down, I have some space here. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to measure it on my paper, and I'm going to draw a line. Now I'm going to take this away from my paper, and the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to cut it on my paper, because I don't want my paper to be really small. I don't want to be cutting the white paper, I just want to be cutting the blue paper. So now I have this cut out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue around the edges of this. Try not to get the glue on the table. I'm just going to do some lines of glue with my stick glue. You should only be twisting up if you need more glue. You shouldn't be twisting all the way up just to put the glue up. And then I'm going to now glue my paper on here. I want to try to cover all the white space as best as possible. Okay, now I still have some white space down here. So I think I'm going to use some light green to cover the rest of my light space down here. So I'm going to measure this up onto here, flip it over. So now I know how big I'm cutting it, and I don't really need it all the way up to here. So I'm just going to draw a line there because I know I don't need that full paper. And I'm going to cut on my line. Once again, I am not holding up to my white paper and measuring it and cutting off of that. I am cutting off of the lines I just drew. Glue around the edges. Okay, now I have my background completed. If it's popping up anywhere, fix it with the glue. And I'm going to start adding now my details on here, so my leaves. I am going to draw them right on the paper. I actually think I'm going to do this. And I'm going to draw it in Sharpie. It's up to you if you want to do it in pencil, outline, and then cut out. But I think I'm just going to do mine in Sharpie, and if I make a mistake, I have to live with it because I'm drawing in Sharpie. Once I have them drawn, I'm going to cut them out. You want to make sure you don't cut out too many without gluing, because if you cut out too many without gluing and then we run out of class time, you're going to need to write your name on all of those pieces, or chance losing them. If you have any ends falling off the paper like that, it's up to you if you want to trim them off or not. Right now I think I'm going to leave it on and then see how much I like it later on. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your drawing of your endangered species. So here is my poison dart frog that I drew. And you're going to cut it out. I don't want to cut this out of my sketchbook. So I'm going to leave my poison dart frog in here, and I took a picture. I'm going to cut out my picture and put it on here. You guys are not doing this. I'm only doing this because that is one of my personal drawings, and I want to keep it with my other ones. Now I have my poison dart frog cut out, so I'm going to figure out where I want to glue it. I think I want to put it on this leaf right here. I'm going to glue this on here. And now, boys and girls, you're going to, once you finish this, put this on the drying rack, and you are going to fill out a reflection sheet. When you turn this project in, you are also turning in your 3 facts that you researched about your endangered species. So you'll turn in your reflection sheet, your project, and your fact sheet about your endangered species. Have fun, boys and girls.